The wild operates on pure instinct. Every creature must seize its advantage before an opponent can spot its weakness. The predator waits for a single moment of vulnerability. The prey must react before the window of escape slams shut. Out here, just one delayed heartbeat, one misstep, or a single second of inattention is enough to completely reverse the tide of survival. Outpace the danger or be left behind. The African savanna is one of the most unforgiving environments for ambush predators. There are very few large trees to conceal a massive body. The vast, wide-open spaces allow herbivores to detect the slightest movement from incredible distances. If just a single individual raises its head at the exact right moment, an alarm signal can ripple through the entire herd in a matter of seconds. This forces the lion to solve a problem far more complex than sheer speed. How to get close without being seen? And the answer lies in exactly how it utilizes every single meter of distance. For a lioness, distance is her most precious resource. Every successful meter of approach drastically reduces the distance she must sprint later. Her tawny coat blends flawlessly into the sun-scorched dry grass. Thick padding on the soles of her feet absorbs the vast majority of sound as she moves. But her greatest advantage does not lie in her physical anatomy. It lies in her absolute patience. A lioness can remain frozen in place for agonizing minutes, waiting just for the prey to lower its head one more time. The hunt is not won by the final explosive charge. It is won by dozens of calculated micro-decisions made long before the strike. Yet the closer she gets, the more mortally expensive a single mistake becomes. The prey does not simply stand still waiting to be hunted. Every time a head lifts to scan, every flick of an ear or sudden shift in the wind can instantly cause the lioness's entire effort to evaporate. If detected too early, her advantage is almost entirely lost. A pursuit spanning just a few hundred meters can burn an immense amount of energy that the lioness will need hours of rest to recover. That is precisely why they are willing to completely abandon a stalk and start all over again, rather than waste energy chasing a desperately slim chance. Only when every single condition aligns does the true hunt begin. The final gap of distance vanishes. The lioness detonates in a short, explosive burst of acceleration, channeling all the massive power stored in her hindquarters to launch herself forward. A lion does not rely on a single fatal bite to execute its prey. She utilizes her massive body weight to anchor the victim, securely locking her jaws around its throat or muzzle, and sustains a suffocating grip for agonizing minutes until the prey is completely stripped of its ability to fight back. For many predators, bringing down the prey is the ultimate victory. But on the African savannah, it is often just the beginning of an entirely new competition. Because food is so incredibly precious that no predator is willing to surrender it if there is even the slightest chance to claim it. And no species understands this brutal law better than the spotted hyena. The unforgiving dry season makes every single food source on the plains more valuable than ever before. A fully grown wildebeest can sustain a vast array of species, from lions and hyenas to vultures and countless scavengers. Therefore, absolute ownership of a carcass is almost never guaranteed. Even the hunter, who just executed the kill, must immediately fight to protect its hard-earned prize. In the Serengeti, many of the most vicious confrontations occur long after the prey has fallen, rather than during the pursuit itself. That is precisely the moment when the hyena begins to leverage its greatest advantage. The spotted hyena is actually one of Africa's most ruthlessly efficient hunters. The vast majority of their diet comes from prey. They hunt themselves, not from scavenging as many still mistakenly believe. But they also profoundly understand one simple principle. If they can seize a meal without expending the immense energy required for a fresh hunt, it is always the more profitable choice. Therefore, hyena clans constantly shadow the movements of lions, leopards, and even African wild dogs. They are not just looking for prey. They are looking for an opportunity. An opportunity forged entirely by the exhaustion of another. To transform an opportunity into an absolute advantage, hyenas rely on a highly complex, fiercely organized society. A single clan can consist of dozens of individuals operating under a strict matriarchy, where females hold every single dominant position. When they need to apply pressure, the entire clan advances as a united front, utilizing chilling whoops, aggressive growls, and an overwhelming superiority in numbers. This calculated tactic is more than enough to force leopards or wild dogs to abandon their kills in many scenarios. But there is one terrifying exception. The lion. Especially the fully grown adult males. Just a single devastating swipe is enough to inflict lethal injuries on a hyena. And a severely injured hyena means the entire clan loses a vitally important hunter. A lioness has just concluded an agonizingly long hunt that has drained an immense amount of her energy. That is the exact moment the hyena clan begins to close in. The surrounding rivals inch closer, relentlessly testing her reactions. But when a significantly more powerful individual appears, the balance of power shifts in an instant. Instead of risking their lives in a profoundly unnecessary, deadly confrontation, the entire clan rapidly retreats and waits for another opportunity. Because out here, even the most notorious scavengers know that there are some lines that simply should never be crossed. On the African savannah, a hunt typically concludes in a mere matter of seconds. But in the Arctic, a predator can stalk its prey for grueling months on end. Out here, the pursuit almost never truly ends. Because across the frozen tundra, both predator and prey must constantly stay on the move just to survive. The Arctic tundra stretches vastly across Alaska, Canada, Greenland, and northern Europe. For the vast majority of the year, the ground is locked beneath an unforgiving layer of permafrost, rendering the growth of large trees virtually impossible. The agonizingly brief summer allows vegetation to flourish for only a few fleeting weeks. Once the snow returns, vital food sources rapidly vanish beneath a thick blanket of ice. For herbivores, standing still is simply not an option. To endure, they must relentlessly seek out new pastures of moss and lichen. No species has adapted to this brutal law of nature better than the Arctic caribou. Every single year, many caribou herds undertake a grueling migratory journey, exceeding 600 miles, 1000 kilometers, ranking among the longest terrestrial migrations of any mammal on Earth. Their incredibly broad hooves function as natural snowshoes, perfectly distributing their body weight across the soft powder, while simultaneously acting as heavy-duty shovels to excavate the snow for the life-sustaining lichen buried beneath. Specialized tendons around their ankles produce a distinctive rhythmic clicking sound with every single step. In the blinding whiteout conditions of thick fog or raging blizzards, this acoustic beacon allows the entire herd to maintain tight formation without ever needing to see one another. But the caribou's greatest advantage does not lie within the individual. It lies in the absolute, unstoppable momentum of the herd forever moving forward. Yet they are not alone. A wolf pack can relentlessly shadow the caribou herds for agonizing days, constantly analyzing the ranks to single out the old, the injured, or those simply falling out of rhythm. Rather than launching an immediate, reckless attack, they patiently wait for the precise moment the formation begins to stretch and fracture due to treacherous terrain, brutal weather, or sheer exhaustion. What the wolf pack seeks is not the strongest individual, but the exact one beginning to lag behind. While the wolves tactically take turns leading the chase to preserve the pack's stamina, the caribou have only one choice: hold the line and keep moving forward. Even when a member falls, the great migration simply cannot stop. Because the survival of the herd does not depend on a single life, but entirely on their relentless ability to continue the journey. In the Arctic, there is prey that virtually vanishes entirely beneath the snow. Yet there is a predator that can find them without ever needing to see them. It only needs to listen. It is one of the most extraordinary hunting abilities ever recorded in mammals. The red fox is the most widely distributed terrestrial carnivore on the planet. They thrive everywhere, from semi-deserts and temperate forests to the frozen tundras of the northern hemisphere. This profound adaptability to diverse environments allows the red fox to survive in realms where food sources fluctuate constantly with the seasons. For them, there is no fixed menu. The most crucial element is exploiting every single opportunity the environment provides. To achieve this, the red fox's body has evolved several astonishing adaptations. A thick winter coat traps a vital layer of air close to its body, drastically reducing heat loss in the freezing cold. When resting, its bushy tail is tightly wrapped around its nose and face, effectively warming the freezing air before it is inhaled. But the red fox's greatest advantage lies within its senses. Its highly sensitive ears can detect the faintest sounds emanating from deep beneath the snowpack, where rodents continue to furiously dig tunnels and forage even in the dead of winter. Studies have even shown that the red fox can utilize the Earth's magnetic field as a targeting system to pinpoint its prey, a staggeringly rare ability among mammals. But these miraculous adaptations only truly come into play when the hunt begins. Beneath the seemingly lifeless blanket of snow lies an entire labyrinth of tunnels carved out by voles. They rarely surface during the winter months. This forces the hunt to rely almost exclusively on sound. The red fox freezes. It continuously adjusts the pitch of its ears to triangulate the exact location of the moving prey. There is no high-speed charge from a distance. there is no agonizingly long pursuit. The red fox launches itself high into the air and plunges headfirst straight into the deep snow. The acrobatic leap is flawlessly calculated so that its front paws pierce through the snow at the precise location the prey is hiding. The vast majority of these hunts are over in a mere fraction of a second. By actively controlling rodent populations, the red fox plays a vital role in maintaining the delicate balance of countless ecosystems from temperate forests to the Arctic tundra. In return, the rapidly shifting climate and changing winter snowpacks directly impact their hunting efficiency. In that frozen world, every single leap is far more than just a hunt. It is the ultimate culmination of millions of years of evolution, where acute hearing, profound adaptability, and absolute patience flawlessly combine to help a small predator survive amidst the harshest winters on the planet. In the deep blue waters of the Galapagos, an ancient traveler quietly continues its journey. Slowly. Calmly. And virtually unchanged for over 100 million years. The green sea turtle. To survive in the open ocean, they must carry absolutely everything they need right on their own bodies. A fully grown adult can weigh over 396 pounds, 180 kilograms, and measure over 3.3 feet, 1 meter in length. The hard shell is their most vital layer of protection in the vast ocean, a realm with almost no places to hide. Much like the marine iguana, the green sea turtle possesses specialized salt-excreting glands located near its eyes. What appear to be tears are actually the body's way of continuously expelling excess salt after spending endless days in the seawater. But their most extraordinary ability does not lie in their shell. Green sea turtles can migrate over 1,550 miles, 2,500 kilometers only to return to the exact same beach where they were born. Studies reveal that they utilize the Earth's magnetic field as a natural built-in compass. Magnetite crystals and a highly specialized magnetic sense allow them to flawlessly navigate across a vast ocean that is almost entirely devoid of landmarks. It is a staggering navigational feat that scientists continue to rigorously study to this day. That epic journey only concludes when they return to the exact place where the next generation will begin. Under the cover of darkness, the mother turtle slowly drags herself up the sandy beach. After excavating a nest, she lays roughly 100 eggs before silently returning to the sea. The rest is entirely left to nature. The remarkable truth is that the sex of the hatchlings is not determined when the eggs are formed. It is entirely dependent on the temperature of the sand. The higher the temperature, the greater the percentage of females. As the global climate continues to warm, that delicate biological balance is gradually being altered. After about 50 to 70 days, the sand begins to shift. The hatchlings, barely the size of a human palm, simultaneously dig their way up to the surface. Pure instinct guides them toward the brightest horizon, where celestial light reflects off the ocean's surface. Every single crawl is a desperate race against time. Only those that successfully reach the ocean will have the chance to begin the decades-long journey that lies ahead. From the Serengeti savanna to the Arctic tundra and the volcanic beaches of the Galapagos, life perpetually follows ancient unwritten paths. Caribou can migrate over 600 miles. Wausen kulturlig across snow and ice. Green sea turtles can cross over 550 miles to 500 kilometers just to return to the exact same stretch of sand where they were born. But globally monitored wildlife populations have plummeted by an average of 73% since 1970. These staggering numbers do not just belong to distant, isolated realms. They serve as a stark reminder that every cleaner river, every darker beach during turtle nesting season, and every traveler who respectfully keeps their distance from wildlife profoundly matters. Nature does not need us to touch it in order to love it. Sometimes the absolute right thing to do is to step back, remain perfectly silent, and allow life to simply continue on its natural path. If these ancient journeys are forever severed, what we lose is not merely a species, but a living, breathing piece of the Earth's memory. The African savanna does not operate at random. This entire ecosystem is shaped by the apex predators at the top of the food chain. Lions. An adult male can weigh up to 330 to 550 pounds. That massive muscle mass evolved to overpower rivals and protect the territory of the entire pride. Meanwhile, the lioness is significantly smaller, lighter, and more agile. It is they who serve as the primary hunting force of the Lion Alliance. The entire muscular system and jaws of the lion are optimized to subdue prey weighing hundreds of pounds on the savanna. But their presence is not evenly distributed across the savanna. Lions only exist in places with enough prey to sustain the massive energy demands of the entire pride. Therefore, the movement paths of antelopes and buffaloes almost completely dictate the territory of these predators. Unlike cheetahs, which are creatures born to sprint, the skeletal structure of a lion is not optimized for endurance. It focuses entirely on explosive acceleration within a narrow range. Their core weapon is a forelimb system, wrapped in massive musculature, accompanied by claws that function like daggers made of keratin, embedding deeply into the epidermal tissue of the target to arrest its momentum. Once the approach distance is closed, the jaws generate a crushing force of up to 1,000 pounds per square inch, locking down the trachea completely. The lion entirely cuts off the flow of oxygen to the brain, instead of wasting energy to tear the body apart immediately. Biological data reveals a harsh truth. A solitary hunting lion succeeds in only about 15 to 19% of its attacks. That is a massive energy expenditure for a predator weighing hundreds of pounds. To increase the chances of survival, lions are forced to form prides. A coordinated hunting system allows them to surround, separate, and bring down prey many times larger than their own bodies. A coordinated hunting system allows them to surround, separate, and bring down prey many times larger than their own bodies. In the thermodynamic network of the African savanna, the spotted hyena often bears a misplaced prejudice. They are frequently categorized as dependent scavenging machines. But actual ecological data has proven the exact opposite. They are a top-tier predatory system. This population establishes and acquires up to 70 to 90% of the total biomass in its diet. Their survival is not based on passive waiting, but on the ability to actively close the physical distance with herbivore herds. To optimize energy recovery, the spotted hyena is designed not to waste a single calorie. The core weapon of this system is a vaulted skull, providing a secure anchor for a massive mass of chewing muscles. They generate a crushing force of up to 1,100 pounds per square inch, a primal pressure sufficient to crush the most solid calcified bone structures of the savanna. This capability allows them to directly retrieve bone marrow with an extremely high lipid and calorie density that leaves other predators helpless.
Nope.
At the same time, an oversized cardiovascular system allows them to maintain stable aerobic respiration. An evolutionary trait that turns them into one of the most enduring kinetic retrieval machines, capable of pursuing targets at a speed of 37 miles per hour across long distances, cutting through the grasslands. Operating at a high energy level places the hyena in a state of direct ecological niche intersection with the lion. This intersection creates unavoidable points of physical confrontation. Facing a male lion carrying overwhelming biomass, the hyena cannot establish a mechanical advantage. The only variable for them to reverse the situation is applying the law of numbers. When the number of hyenas overwhelms at a ratio of 3 to 1, or even 4 to 1, the balance of power begins to shift. They continuously apply pressure from multiple directions, non-stop harassing, nipping, and forcing the opponent to expend energy. Over time, fatigue wears down the muscles and reflexes of even the strongest predators. Ultimately, Even a lion is forced to abandon its recently captured prey. Hyenas live in a highly organized matriarchal society, where all power resides in the females. The females are larger, more aggressive, and control the entire hierarchy of the clan, from territory, food, to reproductive rights. Every vocalization carries information about location, danger, and food sources, allowing the entire clan to quickly assemble to contest resources or confront other predators. As the foundational vegetation shrinks due to shifts in global temperatures and rainfall, the biomass of prey drops catastrophically. This widens the margin of ecological niche intersection, forcing hyenas and other predators into a state of continuous and bloody physical collision. This widens the margin of ecological niche intersection, forcing hyenas and other predators into a state of continuous and bloody physical collision. The depletion of energy will collapse even the most sophisticated pack algorithms. It is a brutal testament to thermodynamics. No law of numbers can save a system when it is being drained of energy from the very foundational level. In the river ecosystems of Africa, an ancient predator remains virtually unchanged through millions of years. The Nile crocodile. A predatory survivor from the age of dinosaurs. Their ancestors appeared around 80 million years ago and continue to dominate the murky waters of Africa to this day. At the Mara River, the great migration of over 1.5 million wildebeest turns the water into a chaotic corridor of survival. And hidden beneath that murky surface, Africa's most terrifying predator is waiting. The body of the Nile crocodile is designed almost perfectly for an aquatic ambush hunting style. The eyes and nostrils situated on top of the head allow them to submerge almost completely while still observing and breathing. Along the snout are highly sensitive sensory organs, capable of detecting even the smallest vibrations on the water's surface. The armored skin helps them endure the violent thrashing of their prey. But the most terrifying weapon is the massive set of jaws. With a bite force exceeding 5,000 pounds per square inch, several times stronger than an adult lion, the sharp, curved teeth will lock onto the prey, making escape nearly impossible. Following the bite, the crocodile executes the death roll. It spins its massive body in the water, using the very force of the water to dismember the food. The life of the Nile crocodile operates on a near-perfect energy conservation mechanism. A slow metabolic rate allows them to live for months without eating after a large, successful hunt. Unlike most mammals, crocodiles virtually never stop growing over time. An individual over 70 years old can reach lengths of up to 20 feet and weigh in excess of 2,200 pounds. That turns the crocodile into a dangerous threat to any animal intending to step down into the water. But behind the image of a cold-blooded predator, the Nile crocodile still possesses an instinct rarely seen in reptiles. After laying eggs on the sandy riverbanks, the mother crocodile remains behind to guard the nest for nearly 3 months. She stands ready to attack any intruder that approaches to protect her unhatched brood. As the eggs begin to crack, tiny vocalizations emitting from beneath the sand signal the mother crocodile. And then, in complete contrast to that terrifying appearance, she gently gathers the hatchlings inside her mouth to carry them safely down to the water. Even among the most ancient predators on the planet, the maternal instinct still endures with incredible strength. In this land, both the lion and the crocodile are predators standing at the top of the food chain. But they dominate 2 completely different worlds. The lion controls the terrestrial savanna, while the crocodile rules the rivers and murky waters. The boundary between water and land thus becomes a particularly dangerous zone, a place where the 2 strongest predatory systems in Africa can encounter one another. And in those confrontations, the outcome usually does not depend on who is stronger. Instead, it depends on where the battle takes place. When in the aquatic environment, every advantage of the lion virtually vanishes. The resistance of the water slows down the explosive movements that are the strength of this predator. But conversely, that is the perfect environment for the crocodile.
Oh, crocodile coming. Crocodile.
With just a single powerful sweep of its tail, it can surge up from beneath the water and lock onto the opponent with its massive jaws. But when the confrontation takes place on land, the balance of power immediately shifts. The heavy body and short legs make the crocodile move slowly out on the dry ground. Meanwhile, the male lion possesses a muscle mass born to fight on the savannah. Away from the water environment, the thick armor of the crocodile is no longer an absolute advantage. It becomes a target easily surrounded by the agile and coordinated attacks of the entire lion pride. But not every predator dominates through strength or a massive set of jaws. In another corner of the wild, there are hunters that exist thanks to silence, speed, and the ability to disappear right before the eyes of their prey. The leopard. An adult individual weighs only about 90 to 200 pounds, significantly smaller than a lion or a spotted hyena. They do not compete through overwhelming strength. They exist thanks to the ability to conceal themselves and strike before being detected. The spotted coat helps the leopard blend completely into the dappled light amidst the tree canopies. While the extremely strong shoulder muscles and forelimbs allow them to drag prey, weighing twice their own body mass up many feet high.
Just so long as he keeps the
That is how the leopard protects its prize from the scavengers always lurking down on the ground. The hunting strategy of the leopard relies on absolute silence. They patiently close in on the prey yard by yard. Controlling every movement so as not to make any sound amidst the grass. When the distance is close enough, the entire power from the hind legs immediately explodes. The leopard charges forward at extreme speed, using sharp, curved claws to grip the target tightly. Right after that, a precise bite to the neck or trachea will quickly finish the hunt. The African savanna is not an open battlefield. It is a closed energy transmission network, calibrated with absolute precision over millions of years. In this system, every predator like the lion, crocodile, or leopard is a mechanical gear. But currently, the core energy supply of this machine is being disconnected. The rise in Earth's temperatures due to climate change does not directly destroy the predators. It interferes with the foundational source code, rainfall cycles, and vegetation. As the savanna grasslands burn and the migration routes of herbivores are disrupted, a massive calorie deficit immediately appears. When the rivers evaporate, not a single creature can survive. When the last forest belts are cut down, the three-dimensional frame of reference for the leopard is completely erased. Lions and hyenas are forced into a matrix of mutual destruction, exhausting their last drops of energy just to fight over the remaining, fading biomass. Nature is simply enforcing the unfeeling laws of physics. When the foundational conditions are broken by humans, the ecological structure will collapse linearly from the bottom up. The disappearance of the apex assassins is merely the final indicator, before this entire system is reset and becomes a permanently empty void.